Hi guys, Miss Hill here. We are reading another book today, which I am really excited to share with you. This book is part of a giant series of books, so it's a big collection of chapter books, actually. I told you we would be reading more, and I'm super excited to share them with you. For my kiddos, some of you might recognize these from your reading classes. It is the Magic Treehouse series, and this is the first book in the series, Dinosaurs Before Dark. And I fell in love with these books when I was with you guys. We read them all the time in reading class. We actually read this book together. But not all of you are in my reading class, unfortunately, so I wanted to share it with you. While we are reading this, we're only going to read the first chapter. So don't worry about anything else. I want you to think about, in this first chapter, just about the characters. Just focus on how they impact the story. So this is Dinosaurs Before Dark, Chapter 1, Into the Woods. "Help! A monster!" said Annie. "Yeah, sure," said Jack. "A real monster in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania." "Run, Jack," said Annie. She ran up the road. Oh, brother, thought Jack. This is what he got for spending time with his 7-year-old sister. Annie loved pretend stuff, but Jack was 8.5. He liked real things. "Watch out, Jack, the monster's coming," said Annie. Jack didn't say anything. "Come on, Jack, I'll race you," said Annie. "No thanks," said Jack. Annie raced alone into the woods. Jack looked at the sky. The sun was about to set. "Come on, Annie, it's time to go home," yelled Jack. But Annie didn't answer. Jack waited. "Annie," he called again. "Jack, Jack!" Annie shouted. "Come here, quick!" Jack groaned. "Oh, this better be good," he said. Jack left the road and headed into the woods. The trees were lit with a golden late afternoon light. "Over here!" called Annie. Annie was standing under a tall oak tree. "Look," she said. She pointed at a rope ladder. It was hanging down from high in the tree. "Wow," Jack whispered. At the top of the tree was a tree house tucked between two branches. "That must be the highest tree house in the world," said Annie. "Who built it?" asked Jack. "I've never seen it before." "I don't know, but I'm going up," said Annie. "No, we don't know who it belongs to," said Jack. "Just for a teeny minute," said Annie. She started up the ladder. "Annie, come back," said Jack. But Annie kept climbing. She climbed all the way up to the tallest branches. Jack sighed. "Annie, it's almost dark. We have to go home." Annie disappeared inside the treehouse. "Annie!" Jack called. Jack waited a moment. He was about to call again when Annie poked her head out of the treehouse window. "Books!" Annie shouted. "What?" Jack said. "It's filled with books," said Annie. Oh man, Jack thought. He loved books. Jack pushed his glasses into place. He gripped the sides of the rope ladder and started up. And that is chapter 1 of Dinosaurs Before Dark. So we will read the rest of the chapters together. There's about 10 or so chapters. And we will read every single one together by themselves. We might do a couple together. But I really want you to focus on each chapter as its own part of the story and how each chapter helps the story. I don't want you to just read this entire book and give me a quick summary of 2 details of the book. I want you to go in detail, in depth to each chapter. So that is what I want my kiddos to do for your comprehension questions. If you need to, listen to me read the story again, and I hope you loved it. I can't wait to finish this book with you. Bye, babes.